Imagine this. One night, a woman named Claire sends her boyfriend a pretty chilling message, and then she just vanishes. The only thing left behind, her phone, just sitting there on a desolate cliffside. So let's dive into this bizarre and really haunting story.
Yeah, that was it. That was the last message Ethan ever got from his girlfriend, Claire. It came in just before midnight on a stormy Friday, but to really understand how they even got to this point, we kind of have to rewind and take a look at the life they had built together.
So let's meet Claire and Ethan. Now, on the surface, they were that couple. You know the one, the couple everyone wanted to be. They were living this seemingly idyllic life right on the Oregon coast. But as we all know, behind every perfect picture, there's always a story.
Their public life was, well, it was carefully curated. It all kicked off with this perfect meet-cute, a little fender bender in a parking lot that somehow led to coffee. And get this, in less than a year, they were already living together in a coastal apartment. She was a photographer, he was a remote tech worker. It was the perfect setup. Their Instagram was just this endless stream of sunsets, romantic road trips, beautiful hikes, all of it with captions promising forever. It was, for all intents and purposes, a flawless digital narrative. A story so perfect it almost felt unreal.
But behind all those filtered smiles, things weren't so perfect. There were arguments, and these arguments were always about Claire's past, and more specifically, about a man named Luke. Now, whenever Ethan would bring him up, Claire would just shut it down, saying it was nothing. But the tension, oh, the tension was real. It was like this single growing crack in their otherwise perfect world.
Okay, so let's fast forward to the night she disappeared. It was a late Friday in March, and this really heavy rainstorm was just battering the coast. Later on, neighbors would actually report hearing raised voices coming from their apartment. Shouting, they said, followed by this abrupt, total silence. And then, at exactly 11:47 p.m., Ethan's phone lights up with that message. "Don't look for me when you wake up." He calls her, of course, right away, but no answer. Then, just seconds later, a second message comes through. This time, it's not words. It's just a location pin pointing to this notorious coastal cliff known as Hollow Point.
Ethan, completely panicked, drove straight to that location, and he found himself at this desolate, windswept cliff with these massive waves just crashing against the rocks below. The place was totally empty, but she had left some things behind. There, in the wet grass, he found her phone, and her shoes, placed neatly right beside it. But here's the detail that makes this whole thing so incredibly eerie. The phone wasn't just on, it was unlocked, and the camera app was open, almost as if she was right in the middle of taking a picture. So when the police arrived, they launched this massive search. We're talking helicopters, rescue teams, divers, the whole shebang, and they found absolutely nothing. No sign of a struggle, no footprints leading over the edge of the cliff, and no body was ever recovered from that churning water below. Claire was simply gone. The search itself turned up nothing, but her phone held another clue, a really cryptic and chilling voice memo. Sometimes love doesn't fix what's broken, and sometimes it's better to disappear before it breaks you too. No one had any idea when she recorded this or where. I mean, was it a confession? A goodbye? Or was it a message about something else entirely? The case just went cold. So for 3 whole months, the trail was completely cold. Then, just when it seemed like the case was going to be forgotten, something new and something completely impossible arrived. An anonymous package just shows up for Ethan. Inside, there's no note, nothing, just a single printed photograph. And it shows him and Claire sitting together on the beach, looking happy. The strange thing is, the photo was taken from a distance, almost like it was a drone shot. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. The impossible part. The timestamp printed on the back of the photo was dated for the day after she disappeared. The police couldn't trace it, there was no metadata, nothing. And Ethan swore he never wore those clothes again after that night. So, how could this photo even exist? So, all of this conflicting evidence really leaves us with 2 dominant theories, 2 completely different realities trying to explain what in the world happened to Claire. So, on one hand, was this a staged disappearance? Maybe she was running away from her past, running from this mysterious Luke. In that version, the cryptic message and that impossible photo, they were all just part of a plan to mislead everyone so she could start a new life. Or was it a genuine tragedy? I mean, Hollow Point is a dangerous place. Maybe the message really was a final goodbye. The sea claimed her, and that photograph, it just remains this truly unexplainable, almost paranormal level anomaly.
But one detective on the case, he offered a third possibility. After analyzing the audio from that voice memo, he noticed something. The background sounds, they match the cliffs for sure. But there was this faint echo in her voice that suggested she wasn't alone. He believed a second, unidentified person was with her when she recorded her last words.
In the end, the case is just this collection of questions. But maybe the most haunting one is this. If someone you loved just vanished into thin air, but left behind all these clues suggesting they were still out there, still watching you, would you even want to know the truth?